SoCal Sunsets. Steve. Emma's San Diego adventure. Steve and Emma exchanged grins as the city skyline of San Diego came into view through the bus window. For two high school friends escaping the routine of school and summer jobs, this was a dream 5-day trip, an adventure packed with beaches, museums, and sea life. Steve, 17, with brown hair, blue eyes, and fair skin, wore his usual light blue jeans and a faded navy t-shirt. Emma, 16, with matching blue eyes, brown hair, and fair skin, sported dark blue jeans and a sea green t-shirt, her camera slung over her shoulder, and a notebook tucked into her bag. Armed with hop-on hop-off day bus passes, sunscreen, and sky-high energy, they were ready to take on San Diego one district at a time. Day 1. Downtown, the Gaslamp Quarter. They kicked off their journey in downtown San Diego, hopping off the red trolley-style bus into the vibrant Gaslamp Quarter, a historic neighborhood filled with Victorian buildings, buzzing cafes, and colorful murals.
I love how this place feels old and new at the same time, Emma said, eyeing the brick facades as Steve munched on a breakfast burrito from a corner food stand.
They wandered through Seaport Village, watching boats sway in the marina and street musicians perform acoustic sets. A man with parrots on his shoulders offered Steve a chance to hold one, he agreed, only for the bird to immediately poop on his arm.
Emma nearly cried laughing. Well, you did ask for a tropical experience.
Day 2. Balboa Park, the Museum of Man. Their second day took them to Balboa Park, San Diego's cultural heart. Lush gardens, Spanish architecture, and tree-lined walkways stretched for acres. The hop-on hop-off bus dropped them right at the grand entrance. They spent their morning exploring the stunning Museum of Us, formerly the Museum of Man, diving into exhibits about anthropology, ancient civilizations, and even a thought-provoking interactive display about human identity. Inside the ornate California Tower, they climbed to the top and were rewarded with sweeping views of the city.
This feels like standing in a storybook, Emma whispered, catching her breath.
Afterward, they strolled through the Japanese Friendship Garden, where koi fish swam lazily under arched bridges and the smell of cherry blossoms lingered in the air. Day 3. The world-famous San Diego Zoo. Emma had circled this day in her planner 3 times the San Diego Zoo, a global favorite nestled within Balboa Park. They arrived early, maps in hand and curiosity high. From the lazy sway of the pandas munching bamboo to the play-fighting lion cubs and the towering giraffes, every enclosure felt like stepping into a new country. Did you know koalas sleep up to 22 hours a day? Steve asked, watching one nap in a eucalyptus tree.
Same, Emma said, sipping her lemonade. That's my new life goal. At one point, Steve dropped his phone trying to take a selfie with a flamingo. It landed in a shallow puddle, prompting a frantic rescue mission and another laugh attack from Emma. You have zero animal selfie skills, she teased.
They wrapped up the visit with the Skyfari aerial tram, floating above treetops and enclosures, their legs dangling, the city beyond. Day 4. SeaWorld Mission Bay Magic. Day 4 took them to SeaWorld San Diego, where ocean life and adrenaline collided.
They marveled at the orca show, stunned by the size and grace of the majestic creatures. It's like watching sea poetry, Emma whispered as waves splashed over the glass.
They rode the Manta roller coaster, screaming all the way down the twisty turns.
Steve's hair stood up in every direction afterward, much to Emma's delight. You look like a sea urchin, she joked.
They also got soaked, very soaked on Shipwreck Rapids, and spent the rest of the afternoon drying off in the sun while sharing churros and watching the Sea Lion comedy show.
That evening, they walked along Mission Bay, catching the sunset as paddleboarders and boats gently cruised the golden water. This trip is a highlight reel, Steve said quietly.
Day 5. La Jolla Beach. Farewell waves. The final day of their trip brought them to the sparkling coast of La Jolla Beach. The cliffs were dramatic, the water impossibly blue. Seals and sea lions lounged on the rocks below, barking lazily. Emma snapped photo after photo as Steve skipped stones across the waves. They rented snorkels and explored the shallow tide pools, spotting bright orange Garibaldi, tiny crabs and sea anemones that twitched at their touch. At one point, Steve slipped on a slick rock and fell backwards, thankfully into soft sand, giving Emma another reason to double over with laughter. After changing into dry clothes, they found a small cafe with a rooftop patio. Over fish tacos and fresh lemonade, they watched surfers ride waves while pelicans glided overhead.
San Diego is full of surprises, Emma said. It's like the city was made for days like this.
As they sat silently watching the sun dip into the Pacific, they both felt the weight of time and how fast it moves when you're making memories. Heading home, but forever changed the next morning. As they boarded their shuttle to the airport, Steve glanced back at the palm trees swaying in the breeze. In 5 days, they had walked through history, explored vibrant neighborhoods, seen exotic animals, laughed until they cried, and stood hand in hand with the ocean. What started as a summer escape had turned into a defining adventure, one that shaped who they were and how they saw the world.
"This isn't goodbye," Emma said, as the shuttle pulled away. "It's a see you soon, San Diego." Steve nodded, a quiet smile on his face. "Next summer?" "Next summer," she agreed.